What's up? Welcome to our first episode review of What If here on Certified Gumbo. Imani, what's happening? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right. Hopefully my internet is going to cooperate today. Had a technician come out and definitely improve the speed and all things. So
No,
hopefully we see some results in the stream tonight.
nice, nice. No Ethernet. We on Wi-Fi.
No, no, no. I'm still on Ethernet.
Oh,
You
okay.
know what I'm saying.
You don't
You
trust
know what I'm
me,
saying.
but
Look,
I understand.
if you have Ethernet access, always go for Ethernet. Man, nothing like that direct line connection.
I'm
Can't
screaming.
beat it. It's unmatched.
I'm
But
screaming.
yo, so I don't know. It's like this is an interesting series to me because when it was first announced, there was some intrigue, but not a lot of hype around it. And then as time has passed, and with Loki coming out, especially, I think that was the big catalyst. Once Loki hit the airwaves, and all of us were, or I guess not the airwaves, but the internet. It's technically the airwaves, but you know what I'm saying. After that, it was announced that the What If series would be canon, and the hype for this series went through the roof, in my opinion, based off the internet's.
Basically, I didn't get excited until the very last episode of Loki. Just the end of Loki, I was like, okay, something is happening now. Now
Yeah,
I need to watch this because I not to say that I wasn't going to watch it, but I just wasn't interested. Like it didn't excite me. Like I was hyped for Loki. I wasn't hyped for this until Loki finished.
yeah, I was in the same boat because I was like, I'll probably end up watching this, but I might wait until after, the episode's out and just binge it because it was like, it didn't seem like, or I believe they said it wasn't going to be canon initially when it was announced. Like it wasn't going to be something that tied into the MCU. But then after the last episode of Loki, we're like, I remember being like, well, hold on, wait a second now. This What If show, if we're dealing with timelines and variants and all that stuff, like how is What If not canon? And then I think a day or two later, that's when they announced that the show would be canon, and I was like, all right, now I'm definitely interested in this because I can definitely see, with the variant thing happening in Loki. Spoilers, I guess, but if you don't know that by now and you're watching this, I'm
It's too late.
completely confused.
You
But
should have watched it by now.
absolutely, but all of that stuff is like, hey, it just begins to make sense. But
I although we can talk about the episodes, I'm hyped to talk about what this episode means, like for that particular universe. And I think that's how I'm gonna feel about every episode. Like, yeah.
yeah, I'm the same here. Like it's I got a comment too about the style of direction and how they take an origin story that we're familiar with Steve Rogers. They change it, and like not only do they change the outcome, but the tone and everything shifts as well in this. And I was not I was pleasantly surprised by how uh serious and dramatic this episode was. This first episode, a lot more so. It wasn't as I think it was more serious in tone than the first Avenger.
I think so. I believe it was the captain's log. Put up captain's log I was speaking with on the Discord. But I think that we can expect every single one of these episodes to be, or the storyline to be better than the film that it was inspired by. Like,
Yeah,
I think this may have been a cooler film than the first Avenger that we got. And that's coming from someone who loves the first Avenger. I still watch it. I like all of the Captain Americas. I don't have any problems with that trilogy. But they've had more time. They know some big stuff is going to happen. So I'm
mm-hmm.
not at all surprised that they are going to go ham. Like I'm pretty sure they're going to go ham, and we might be more excited to see their what ifs.
Yeah, because I've heard that this. I don't know if that. Well, in my I think it's a rumor. I don't know if it's been verified, but as far as I'm concerned, it's a rumor. This is supposed to lead into the Guardians of the Multiverse. Is that like a? Have you heard that too? because I know I was online seeing and hearing that, and like some I saw some clip art and things of people assembling the team of all the basically the heroes of the What If story assembling into an Avengers Guardians of the Galaxy style Defenders of the Multiverse, which would basically uh, allow this to sort of be its own thing. But you know, I'm I'm liking what we got with this first episode overall, and I'm looking forward to see how they change these characters and their arcs, and how this all culminates into maybe it's the Guardians of the Multiverse or whatever it entails. I think this is going to be something we'll be seeing a season two of, and maybe it could have further implications into the multiverse.
I honestly hope that we see some of these people in a future film. Like, how dope would it be for in another universe to see the Captain Carter, who was Wild Diesel, by the way.
Yeah, for real.
She was huge. If anything, she looked larger than Captain America looked in the film. Like, I would put her a little smaller than She-Hulk, but she was taller, she was broader. Yeah, he was big, but and maybe it's just because it's animation. Animation, they always turn things up a notch. But she looked huge.
Well, before his transformation, though, I think she did have a size advantage over him. I think she definitely had a few inches over Steve Rogers prior to.
You know what it is too? When he got the super serum, he was mad frail anyway. So he was all small and weak and had this big head and this little body. And she was properly proportioned, not to disrespect ultra slim and short people. But her going in there, she probably bulked up quite a bit.
Yeah. Spencer, I'm also excited for next week's episode. Oh, that's the T'Challa episode, man. That's going to be interesting. That's definitely going to be interesting. I don't know emotionally how are you ready for that emotionally? Because this
I'm
is his.
ready to hear his voice. I watched Black Panther this weekend, and it did make me sad. I'm not ready to hear his voice. I'm just not ready in general. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, because I feel like if they're gonna make this canon, it's for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we're potentially going to see these people in a film at some point. I'm expecting to see a Peggy Carter, a Captain Carter at some point in one of the future films. Because I mean, otherwise, why is it canon?
I could totally see that happening. Like I can see a lot of this transitioning into live action, just like you said. I mean, Quantum Mania and Multiverse of Madness kind of opened the door. Well, actually, let me take that back. Loki opened the door, and then we'll see how deep the rabbit hole goes with Multiverse of Madness and Quantum Mania. Because I feel like there's a lot more with the multiverse and variants and things that we can expect in later installments of the live action MCU. But man, this is definitely a good step one. I'm not gonna lie. Even like I think after watching this episode, I'm way more interested in this series, even not knowing whether, like, had I not known that this would be canon and all that, and I watched this episode today, like, without that knowledge, like, if they had just held that off until episode 9, I'd still be hyped for the series. Like, I'm definitely looking forward to next week's episode. It did a really good job of adding to the lore.
I appreciate how small her decision is that changed everything. Like,
Exactly.
had she decided to go into the viewing room like she did in the film, that man would not have let the bomb off when he did. Because in the film, he doesn't do anything, or excuse me, he has a gun and he doesn't use it until after he takes the serum. In this version, that happens before the serum is taken, before it's used. Steve gets shot, and then boom, she takes his place to become Captain Carter. Steve low-key becomes the first Iron Man.
For real. Yes, exactly.
Like, that's a big deal. Bucky Barnes does not fall. from the train and does not become the Winter Soldier, that's a big deal. Now, that's not to say there may not be a Winter Soldier, but it's definitely not Bucky Barnes.
Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't rule out completely the super soldier serum, and we don't know. It's kind of left in left up to interpretation what happens to both Bucky and Steve Rogers at the end of the episode, because maybe without the Winter Soldier program and without Steve Rogers going into the ice, they would have aged like normal, and so they would be old men by now if they're still around, which is kind of sad to think about, because then in what we would consider the modern day uh, iteration of the MCU, they wouldn't be around. Like they would definitely they wouldn't be a part of the Avengers team at all.
I'm going to hold out hope and say that because of how successful Peggy was at, closing that portal and getting the monster out of there and basically ending the war, I would hope that they would reinvest in the Super Soldier project and maybe give it to them. They did hint at, that Steve was still interested in it when they were talking to each other, having a drink. So I hope, they would figure that out. But at least we know for a fact that Steve Rogers lived, and that Ned Stark, is it Ned? His father's Ned Stark?
Howard
Stark. Who was Ned Stark? I feel like that's a completely different movie. I got that somewhere.
That's Game of Thrones.
Yes. Howard Stark.
Oh man, now we're going across
Howard Stark is
platforms.
alive. And I would not be surprised if they continued working on the suit. Because one thing about the Starks, they don't leave stuff alone. They keep improving on designs. So he may have gotten better. He's also low-key like Iron Patriot in the suit with the jacked up legs.
It's like it's like the Iron Patriot suit mixed with the Iron Giant.
It definitely gave Iron Giant.
It's definitely given Iron Giant, especially the head, right? Like
yes,
that's what reminded me, of Iron Giant.
It made me want to watch the first Iron Man film again, and I think I might do that. I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, because it is like his first suit, but also it's a mix of things. It's a really good design. It's tanky. It's Stark's first suit, but way more developed.
Yeah, because I don't think this suit could fly.
No, it couldn't. It flew, but it didn't fly for long. It couldn't land. Let's say that it flew. It could fly, but it couldn't land.
The one where he was like kidnapped by the people.
Yeah, because he flew. He had a.
The pack. You're right.
He had the pack on, but like after he used all the fuel. He just crashed into the desert, and like the suit came undone, and he was just tossed. It was wild. He crash landed in the desert. And then because remember the what's his name, the guy, his mentor, the evil dude, he was the one who recovered the suit, and he used the blueprints to create that big Iron Man suit that he made in the end of the movie.
I have another thought. If there's no Steve Rogers, do we get a Falcon?
I think we can still get a Falcon, and I think that he may be we could totally get Falcon, but Falcon would be more prominent, I think, in this what if than Steve was. Like I think he would be in that type of, well, I don't know, man. I think that's how they would play it though. Like I think that instead of Captain America, you would have Falcon in that kind of role. Obadiah, thank you, Captain Slog. That was his name. That's not even like that's such a memorable name. Obadiah. Daniel Fisher, what's happening?
What's going on? Okay, so what I need to think about is or maybe I just need to go back and watch that moment in What's If, where Peggy comes back after they've used the Tesseract. That happens in the Avengers film at the beginning. When does that happen?
Yes, that's technical. So that was when You're talking about the very, very end, right?
Yes, when she
When she
comes
comes
back.
through on the other side. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah. That's when they're trying to harness the power of the Tesseract, and
yes,
that's so in the Avengers movie, it's Loki that comes out because I think Loki activated the Tesseract, or Thanos activated the Tesseract and sent Loki through it. I can't remember somehow, some way. The Tesseract is a dimensional. It is a it's space, right? I think that's its power. It manipulates space and dimension, I guess,
but
because
it's
space is
also
dimension. It is a dimension.
powerful. Also, was Clint with
Yeah, because he remember that's what Loki came. He comes out with the scepter and he like uses it to turn them into zombies basically and follow his orders. Because he
yes,
gets
that
Clint,
happened in
he
that
gets yeah, he gets Clint, and then he gets the sign.
scene.
Are they trying to get Thor? I can't remember. I have to rewatch Avengers 1 now.
That's like there's so many
There's a
movies.
lot that happened.
Yes, so I have to watch Avengers now. I definitely have to watch Captain America the first one and I need to watch Iron Man 2 to see
This
how
is going to
all
end up being like a whole MCU rewatch. Especially with the early films, because there's some details in those that will probably be important in this that we have looked over or maybe have forgotten. Like I mean, even like that moment, like you said, with Peggy not going into the observation deck, changing the entire like outcome of that day and really the future, like all of that, like any minor detail, any minor thing that could change from those first movies could lead to these what if moments.
definitely. I'm just thinking about next week's. We're definitely, although I watch Black Panther pretty often, so I don't think I have to recap Black Panther as of right now. But we have to watch both Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 because you don't find out about him being taken by Yandu and stuff. Although you kind of do, but you get
It's
deeper into it in the.
yeah
But
yeah
we do know that he will be a kid and an adult in the episode. So we'll also have to watch Guardians of the Galaxy 1 to see what comparisons we could make there. And then also, what is the decision that takes Yandu from picking up Ego's son to taking King T'Chaka's son? Like, how does that work? Because Yandu was sent to pick up
Ego
Quill
sent
by
him.
Ego.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So maybe the whole origin of like maybe yeah, all of that would have changed.
And I don't want T'Challa to be Ego's son. So
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. That wouldn't make that wouldn't happen at all.
so I gotta figure out how does that switch happen? Like how does he even find out about Wakanda? So
Yeah, like why did yeah.
would have been cooler, and I said this in the Discord, was what if Yandu picked up Killmonger in the basketball court after King T'Chaka killed his father? Like that just seemed like a cool idea to me, but regardless, I'm sure they could have thought about that and they didn't, so they have their reasons. Also, it would have just been a way to bring Killmonger back in my head.
But see, technically, none of this like at that point in time, like when this was being shot, like Chadwick was still alive. Like so we wouldn't even be considering any of these options and factors.
You're right. Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't even on the table, wasn't even consideration. They had moved on from the character. So like now it's kind of like, well, that's possibly on the table. But I don't know.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, that is a way to bring Killmonger back into the MCU with these different universes. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's really the coolest. I mean, that's really the coolest thing about the multiverse and the variant thing. Like, it can literally do anything that they want to, and it's explained now.
They need to bring back Cottonmouth. That's what they need to do.
No, you know what? That whole series is it's technically doesn't exist right now, so it's not even bringing it back. They just need to.
If they can bring it Kingpin and Daredevil, They
See,
could bring him.
I can't. Well, no, because then we lose Blade, and I'm
No,
like,
no,
are
they'll
they gonna
figure
fight? So you're saying recast him? Because I feel
it
like Mahershala
out. They'll
Ali
recast him.
is Cottonmouth. Like I don't know who else is going to bring that gravitas to that role like
Listen,
that.
maybe they could have
He
Blade and Cottonmouth talking to each other, talking about you look real familiar. But regardless, it's possible, and they could figure it out.
yo,
Okay,
that would be wild.
we
No,
want.
they you know what? Oh, they could do a what if where Cottonmouth becomes a vampire. Cottonmouth becomes Blade.
Ooh. What if that's one of the episodes? I would be
That would
sick.
be crazy.
And then
Hey
boom,
yo,
Blade. Because I'm
that's
wondering.
that's a fire concept too. Like that would actually be a really cool episode to see.
Because I mean, now that there is no sacred timeline, technically villains may not be like someone who is a good person in one timeline might be a villain someplace else. So that's highly probable. I mean, I don't know if that's what they're gonna do, but I'm not ruling it out. It's just anything can happen. Just like uh he who remains said in the last episode of Loki, if you think I'm evil, just wait till you meet some of my variants. There are
Right.
good Kangs and there are bad Kangs. We just
Yeah.
don't know yet. We don't know who. The captain's log said when Loki controlled people, was that technically enchantment powered by the Tesseract? Yeah, the Tesseract does more than just
It's not just a space stone.
yeah,
It does more than that. But yes, I would consider that. Well, see, they're all magical
and it's also very powerful.
stones, so there's magic involved. So of course, any type of any iteration of magic, any form of magic could be used. Just like with what was it, the Reality Stone? Some of that has become Wanda, or that has activated the Scarlet Witch within Wanda.
The Tesseract is a cube which contains an infinity stone representing the fabric of space. If used correctly, the Tesseract can open gateways to any part of the universe and provide interdimensional travel. What else?
Oh, that's a great question. I was going to ask that. The uncool was going to ask in the comments, like if you're watching, just what is your ideal what if scenario? Like, what would you want to see? You can either put that in the live chat or wait until the video is over and post that in the comments, and then we can discuss that, or drop it in the Discord. Either way, don't care.
Honestly, just bring characters that I love back. I meant what I said about Cottonmouth.
My blade. That's mine. Cottonmouth gets bit by a vampire and becomes Blade.
I want to see Cottonmouth. I want to see the evolution of the X-Men through here somehow. Although I still don't mind if Marvel takes their time to get it right. I'm cool with that. I'm just saying that would be a dope what if to see. Even if we
Yeah,
see
see,
them
it's
here and don't
interesting
see
too.
them for a while, I'm cool with that.
Well, it's interesting because the rumor is, or it's that's not a rumor. They have said that the Eternals will introduce the X gene in some form. Now, I would hope that we get a little bit more than just some mention or of the X gene. Like I hope that in the Eternals movie we actually see a mutant or the first mutant. Like maybe that would be the, because remember in the trailer they talked about like them not interfering, and I remember like all the memes that happened on social media with all of the historic events and all the tragedies that happened throughout human history that the Eternals could have intervened in and prevented. But that's a whole conversation for another day, another topic. But I definitely would like to see them introduce a mutant on screen in that show.
Something. It'd also be cool. It's kind of hard now, but I don't know. I was hoping at some point we would get to see Storm in Wakanda.
Yeah, that would be kind of crazy, right? Like what if the whole um New York, wouldn't it wouldn't be the New York. I mean, they kind of slept through that one too, wouldn't they? The Loki, the assault on New York, the battle for New York in Avengers 1, and then all the stuff with Ultron. So they waited till Thanos the snap, and then they go into action, and like maybe that's when they create mutants. I don't know. I don't know. I'll wait and see what the story holds. But it's just like I don't know.
Every way in my head that I've tried to like figure that out doesn't make sense. So
Yeah,
I'm
I'm gonna let the movie tell me what they gonna do because it's
I'm not even
like
gonna rush it.
yeah, yeah. I want to see what Captain's Log says. I want to see a whole Wakandan Avengers. So isn't that well? That's I mean I want to see. I don't even think we have to wait. I don't even think we need a what if. But like them doing the intergalactic empire of Wakanda. I hope that that's what the show. I hope that's what the Wakanda show is about. Is them transitioning into the intergalactic empire under the rule of Shuri.
You hope that that's what the show is about, or the next
Yeah,
film?
I hope that's what the show is about. I don't think. I mean, maybe they could. I don't know. It depends on what they do with the film. Um, we'll see. I don't know.
Gotcha. The Black Panther situation is so touchy that I'm just gonna let Marvel do what they want to do, and I'm gonna accept it. And even more so with the X-Men. Like I think I'll heavily critique the decisions made for X-Men more than I will Black Panther, because from what we could tell, they've had these movies planned out for years. I'm sure that his passing, and not to say that, his passing was like a disruption. God bless the family of Chadwick Boseman, but they weren't in planning for this, and so whatever future plans they had for the character have fallen apart. And they've admitted that they will not recast him. So whatever they decide, I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it.
Yeah, I think Ryan Coogler will handle it with care, whatever decision. And I think that the fans of Black Panther and the first movie, whether that be I think both the comic book fans and the fans of the film, people who were introduced to the character through the film, I think they will like the direction that he takes Black Panther 2. But a 30-minute episode, I think we deserve I think we'll do a 30-minute show. That's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing with the Bad Batch episodes. It's like 25-30 minute episode. I'm gonna give it a 25-30 minute review.
Before we go, we didn't rate at the top of the episode like we usually do. Do we want to end with that?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's end with it.
I'm giving it an 8. I don't see a reason to drop it lower than that. I have a feeling every episode is going to be up there. I loved seeing Peggy Carter as Captain Carter. It would be dope to see that character on film, looking big and swole and beating people down. Yeah. So maybe disrespectful.
I'm gonna give it an 8 as well. Well, it's the first episode. You don't know where it could go from here. We're hoping that it continues to ascend, but we don't.
Right.
We really don't know. I mean, it feels good. Loki didn't disappoint, but we had two other shows that kind of sort of did. So, we're hoping that this continues on this trend. But yeah, so far so good. It was a really good first episode for me. So an 8, it's safe. It's safe 8. Coop Daddy Yoda says what's up.
And thank you for everybody watching. We had Spencer checking in the captain's log. I saw Daniel Fisher, Coop Daddy Yoda, and the Uncool. Thank y'all for watching.
Absolutely. And yeah, you want to close this out?
That's all I got. Well, thank you guys for watching us. As always, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at Certified Gumbo. Please, if you love us and want to support us, buy us some coffee. The link was dropped at the top of the live
in the chat box. It's pinned. It's the pinned comment.
What else we got? Please follow us on Discord or join us on Discord. We talk about this stuff all day, every day. And did I miss anything? Oh yeah, like this video, subscribe if you haven't already. And Coop, Friday, we got the double review for Bad Batch finale.
Yes, double feature for Bad Batch. I will be doing part 1 and part 2 together. So first 30 minutes will be part 1, second 30 minutes will be part 2 of the finale, since they decided to break the finale up into 2 parts. So yeah, here are my opinions. I had some technical difficulties on Friday, so I could not stream. I tried, but it didn't work. So yeah, I'll just, fortunately, them breaking the finale up into 2 parts means I can do just an hour-long episode for the finale. So tune in for that if you've been watching the Bad Batch. And if you are a fan of the Cookout, we will see you on next Tuesday.
Oh yeah, tomorrow at 8:00 p.m. Y'all asked for it. We are streaming the Hulk, the 2003 Hulk, on the Discord. Please join us. Y'all wanted to see it. I told you it's gonna kill your brain cells, but you got it. Join us on the Watch Party channel. We will be streaming the Hulk 2003. Y'all asked for it. Or was that the Incredible Hulk?
This was it's, I don't know. I think it's just the Hulk. The Incredible Hulk is, I don't know. The Incredible Hulk that's the reboot. That's the MCU version. But yeah, 2 people asked for this, and it turned into an entire debate. But anyway, we're here. So yes, we will be watching this, unfortunately, again in the Discord tomorrow, 8 p.m.
I appreciate that we're not happy about it.
I'm not. I'm not looking forward to this, but I will join because I'm here for the cause.
Bye, y'all.
Peace, love, and blessings, and may the force be with you.